and welcome to Reliving My Youth. My name is Noel Fogelman. Parks and Recreation is probably one of the best sitcoms of the last 25 years. Beautifully written, the cast was amazing, both the main cast and the supporting characters. We have one of the most memorable supporting cast members on today, Councilman Bill Dexhart, played by the incredibly talented Kevin Symons. Kevin talks about getting the role of Sexy Dexy and which real-life politician the writers based the character on. Kevin was originally just supposed to have a one-off with Councilman Dexhart, but they brought him back later in the second season for the Christmas Scandal episode. Then we didn't see him for a few seasons until Leslie Knope got elected to City Council. Then Sexy Dexy was back. Kevin also talks about how he brought the character back to life during the pandemic. He is big on Cameo, doing a lot of Councilman Bill Dexhart requests. He was also featured in a bunch of Nickelodeon and Disney shows like iCarly, Henry Danger, Best Friends Whenever. He also got his first starring role in the Discovery Channel show Darcy's Wildlife, and which animal Kevin had to deal with during filming one of those shows. I really enjoyed my conversation with Kevin, and if you do, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. All right, here's Kevin. So, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure to be here. I love your podcast. It's fantastic. I love it.
Oh, so you're the one. Just, I appreciate it. I'll keep sending the checks.
Me and three other people. I got them all on board. So.
Yeah, I still can't get my family to listen, so it's quite all right. If anyone can listen, I'll take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you in person.
Yeah, likewise. I love your YouTube channel. It's great. A lot of fun stuff on there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was really bored, like so many of us during the pandemic, and I got to thinking, what would it be like to start a YouTube channel?
Right. Yeah.
Because I've got time to do it.
Exactly.
And B, what would Councilman Dexhart, my character from Parks and Recreation, what would he be doing during the pandemic? So that's kind of was how I got started doing those crazy little snippets of videos. Yeah.
Yeah, those PSAs were great. Especially like the one when you're sitting at your desk and you're just opening up, the drawer, seeing what's in there, the Wonka bar and, the handcuffs. And I love when I watched it again and I totally forgot, like, why am I looking at toilet paper? And I'm like, oh shit, there was such a toilet paper shortage.
Remember?
Oh my God.
Yeah. All the rage. I
Yeah.
remember, I still don't understand why people hoard toilet paper, but that, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But there are two things I will spend money on. I'll go, store generic brand on mostly anything except toilet paper and orange juice. Those are my two things. And orange juice. For some
orange juice. Okay.
The one ply crap. No, I got to get
doesn't matter.
It's a very sensitive area. So
it was more valuable than gold and saffron for a while there during the pandemic.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I can't believe it's been like over 6 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah. So during that time, we all had to learn like even auditioning now for me is almost, I would say 90% from home.
Right.
Oh, I had to, I studied to be an actor, but then during the pandemic and subsequently afterwards, I've had to learn to be a editor and a lighting designer and a camera guy and all that. So it's, we do what we have to do. We adapt, so.
Yeah. Would you rather be in the room doing an audition?
I have mixed feelings about that. I always loved being in the room because I love the reaction.
Right.
I love getting direction. If you get an adjustment from the director or the producers or even the writer, you're on the right track, which is good. Nowadays, it's with the self-taping, it's great because you can do as many takes as you want to. But there's an element of it that, you get the description of the character and you have the scene, you make a choice, you make a strong choice, and then you send it off into the ethosphere and you have no idea if you made the
exactly
right for whatever they want. So that part's frustrating. I love getting the laughs, the reaction. So I missed that element of it because, I was trained in the theater and that immediate reaction from people is what I really love. Just love it. It's great.
Right. And I would imagine they're not going back to the in-room or
why would they?
It's cheaper to do it this way.
Yeah. I mean, if you're saving money in office space, why?
Yeah.
So we all had to adapt, but that's been going on in this business for forever. You always have to adapt. You have to change. That's or else you become a dinosaur.
Yeah. But I imagine like with the self-taping, the benefits are you can do as many takes as you want, but also
Yeah.
that's a negative because they don't know. They only see the finished product. You get the
Right.
job, and then you realize it's going to take you 120 takes to get it right on set.
And when I first started doing it, I was just, it was take after take after take. And then after a while, we're like, you know what? It's probably in the first three anyway. So
Yeah.
why spend the time? Just do it, get it done, edit it out,
Yeah.
and get it out there. So, but yeah, so it's a give and take. I
Right.
like aspects of it, and then other aspects I miss. I really
Yeah.
miss that
Yeah.
personal attention. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Was there like when you were doing the in-person auditions, were there like one or two people that you always saw during the
Oh yeah.
auditions?
Oh,
Like, oh,
absolutely.
here we go again, this guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, when I was up for Parks and Rec, which was supposed to be a one and done, it was
Right.
one episode, guest star, and then it ended up being 15 or whatever. But yes, when I went into the room for the callback in front of the producers, directors, and writers, and got good laughs, and then I had felt great about it. And then I walked out into the lobby, and there was a guy who's higher up on the food chain than I am, and I thought, well, he's going to get it, no
Right.
question about it. This is not going to happen. And you know, I just thought, why would they go? They can go with him. And lo and behold, it went to me. So, you know, it's one of those lovely, lovely times. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What made you think they went with him? Like, what did you do in the audition that kind of won you the job?
There was one line in particular that I think was one of the main things that got me the job because it got a big, big laugh. And it was different than how it was written. It was written a certain way, but I didn't. And it's my first episode was called Practice Date.
Right.
I'm admitting to uh, saying I apologize for saying that I was building homes for the underprivileged when in fact I was having four-way sex in a cave in Brazil.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
and the line was, I wasn't just having sex, I was making love to a beautiful woman
Yeah.
and her boyfriend. And the line is, and a third person whose name I never learned. So I did it where I said I wasn't just having sex, I was making love to a beautiful woman and her boyfriend, and a third person whose name I never learned. In other words, if I didn't know the name, it can't be that bad.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And in your defense, it was your birthday, and you really
In my defense, it was my
wanted to
birthday,
do it.
and
Yeah.
I really wanted to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
such great writing. It's such great.
It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, that character was based on Mark Sanford. I don't know if you remember.
The former governor, rep,
Right.
oh, yeah, South Carolina, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the time,
Yeah.
he like disappeared for like a week. His wife didn't know where he
Yeah.
was, his office didn't know where he was, and he
He
was
went to
down
like
like
Argentina or something like
in
that.
Argentina with
Yeah.
his mistress. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what the whole character was based on. And the funny thing about the writing, which is so great, is that
Yeah.
the more outrageous and outlandish he got, the more popular he got. So they
Yeah.
just kept bringing me back in, which was just fabulous.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Yeah. I think it was the second Chunks episode when you had all your aliases you mentioned, and the last one, which was kind of funny, was Anthony Weiner.
They cut back to me and it's Anthony
Yeah.
Weiner in the
Yeah.
news at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I used to do a podcast with the New York Islanders, and lo and behold, he's a huge hockey fan, New
Ah,
York Islanders fan. So when he was still on Twitter, this was I forgot in between which what's it called issue he's had. I reached out to him like, yeah, why not? Let's see if he wants to come on. Within like
sure.
an hour, he's like, yeah, sure, why not? Great guy, great conversation. It's a shame because he was, and I'm originally from New York. I still work
Uh,
there. He was a great rep, and I think he would have been a great mayor.
yeah. Okay.
But
You know,
what were you going to do if he just
he couldn't stay
admitted?
off the
If he,
internet or he couldn't
yeah,
stay off the social media.
exactly. If he just admitted everything, maybe more people would have voted for him. Like Dexhart. How many
Yeah.
terms did he have? But it's a shame. But it was just really funny that I'm like, oh shit, I'm talking to this guy on here who's had all these issues and continued to have more afterwards. But it was
Yeah.
just like it was
Yeah. And
funny.
well, the name was perfect for
Oh,
all the stuff
totally.
going
Yeah.
on. I mean, I think Dexhart's aliases were like Lee Harvey Teabag,
Yeah, Willie Dynamite, right?
right?
Yeah, Enrique Shockwave. That was
That's a
great.
great shockwave.
Yeah. Yeah. Did were those all the writers? Did you actually have any input in coming up with any of those?
Well, we improv'd a lot on the show.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
sure Gene probably told you.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
We did, and he may have mentioned, or you may have heard of this. We would do as written. And by the way, Second Chunks was the 100th episode
Right.
that Amy wrote, and she wrote that great scandal for Dexhart again. They told me, they said, you got a good script coming up in the next couple of
Right.
weeks, and I was like,
That's
this is
good.
great, and I thanked her profusely. By the way, she is just the greatest
Yeah.
person.
So
She's so
everyone says, yeah.
she's amazing. That's why the show was so successful, because it trickled down from Amy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, so where was I going with this?
Oh, about the improv and stuff on
The
it.
improv, yeah. So we would do it as written because the writing is so good. And then we would loosen it up a little bit. And then another take, we'd loosen it up even more, where there was a little bit of improv and then maybe a little bit more. And then the last take, where you may have heard this, is what Amy called a fun run, which was completely improvised.
Right.
And I remember, I remember one time I was trying to get in some funny bit. And I started watching Amy Poehler and like John Glazer, who played
Yeah.
Jam.
Yeah.
And these guys are, I mean, first rate, top-notch improvisers. And I just was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit back here
Yeah.
and you go.
Right.
And sometimes, not a lot of times they would use the stuff, but sometimes um, they would, and it was really great. I came up with one once, and Amy was so sweet. She's like, "Oh, that's hilarious!" And she brought the writers over and said, "We have to do a take where he says this."
Yeah.
And so it was very collaborative, which was one of those, as Jim said, also Jim O'Hare, a
Yeah.
dream job. It was really like family. Yeah,
Yeah.
very very supportive.
Right. What was the scene that she had you do?
It was when we're in the chamber. The chambers were all around a
Yeah.
table, and the main guy, excuse me, I think somebody agrees with something that she says, and she gets really excited. Oh, you agree
Oh,
with me? He
spills the
spilled
coffee on. Yeah.
right in his lap, and I said, I came up at the end. I was like, "You can spill coffee on my lap anytime, Leslie." And she said, "That's funny."
Yeah.
And then she said, "What's the first name of your character?" I said, "Bill." And so we did a take where it was like, "I can spill coffee on my lap anytime, Amy or Leslie." And she goes, "Not now, Bill."
Yeah. I mean, you had so many like crazy lines, and this one is just like not even a throwaway line. It's just way out there was, the whole milk one. It's like, are you Lutheran? I really like Lutherans. It's
Oh yeah,
like out of
I
all
like a
line.
glass of whole milk.
Yeah.
I love Lutherans.
Lutherans. Yeah. It just like why out of nowhere. It's just brilliant.
Should we? People
Yeah,
already think we
yeah,
did it.
yeah,
I'm
right.
very good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was a Christmas scandal episode, which you had
Yeah.
like a huge part. And like, Rashida's like, can't believe how easy it was to get him
Get this
here.
guy over here.
Yeah. Just brilliant writing. And like I guess your slogan would be, or your catchphrase, I have no plans to
No
resign.
plans to resign.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I mean, had Dexhart been like a real politician, how do you think he would fare now?
It's interesting you say that. I was talking to Mike Shore about this. I was at one of the parties that we had, a reunion party, and it was during hashtag Me Too when that was really happening. And I asked him, I said, how do you think Dexhart would fare as a character
Yeah.
in this day and age? He said, that is a really, really good question because I don't know. I hate saying it was a different time, but
Right.
the more outlandish he got, the more people loved him even more. And in this day and age, I mean, yes, with the whole sex scandals and all that sort of thing, but what goes on in our government is so nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would be that much of a surprise. It's
Ah,
crazy.
yeah. And he
You
would,
know?
I think he would use the slogan like "Me too" is like "Me too," like
Yeah,
have me
me
join
too.
in,
Or why not? Why not
Yeah,
me?
exactly. Why not me? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy. And like you imagine he would probably be in the Epstein files quite a bit.
Oh, he was on that island. If he was
Yeah,
in if he was in a cave in Brazil, he was definitely on
definitely
that.
on that island. Yeah.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you like surprised like it took them so long after Christmas scandal to bring you back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
being the insecure actor that I am, I was like, did I do everything right?
Yeah.
And it was such a great episode. And I mean, I wasn't surprised. I was happy to have the two that I had.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, Christmas Scandal was one of those dream things where you're there all week and you're getting to know everyone and play with these incredibly talented people. So I was thrilled to have it. It occurred to me, I was like, oh, I wonder why they didn't bring back, but that's
Yeah.
okay. And then lo and behold, when Leslie gets on the city council, then it just kind of the floodgates opened, and it was so I got a total of 4 seasons out of it, which is pretty extraordinary.
Right. And
Yeah,
and the show like found like its legs when it was on streaming,
it did.
and it
Again,
just
during the
during a
pandemic, people
pandemic,
discovered it.
Yeah, and
Rarely a day goes by, and this is incredible because I was just a recurring character, but I think the character people really remember Dexhart.
yeah,
Because I tell you, and Jim O'Hare said the same thing. It's like unbelievable. It's almost weekly, if not, every other day or so, somebody comes up. Oh my gosh, I've watched the show all the way through, 15 times.
yeah,
And they always want to know about it. And even in Europe, when I was there, I think Jim O'Hare mentioned it when, it's like it's playing everywhere now and
right.
getting recognized everywhere in Europe. And it's extraordinary the legs that show has. And yes, you were right. It found another audience and another audience, and then the kids started watching it, and it's really extraordinary. It's
Yeah,
really.
and it's so rewatchable too.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
thing because you miss stuff the first, even second time.
there's
There's so many like
every
layers into that
episode
show.
it's loaded with stuff. Every
Yeah,
episode, and I felt like season one was kind of finding its sea legs.
yeah,
And when season two came in, the writing just really got good, and the characters became more defined. And every year got better and better and better and better. And the finale to me was like the
it's great.
perfect ending. It's perfect. It's an
Yeah,
absolute perfect ending.
yeah, absolutely. And a show where you can get the former, well, the vice president at the time, a former president. It's a win right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Exactly. You're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah,
and look at everybody on that show has become
yeah,
huge stars. I mean, it's just amazing. It's incredible.
yeah. Because watching the show, Chris Pratt was great as Andy, but you didn't think he'd become like one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
World.
Yeah,
And at that same rap party, I'll just tell you a little something about him. First of all, he's the nicest man. And I hadn't seen him in a while. And I said, Chris, and he gave me a big old bear hug. And he was like, how are you? What's
yeah,
going on? And everything. And this is when after he'd been doing all the movie star
yeah,
stuff. He's just a real guy, a real nice person. So yeah.
yeah. And like his character was such a change from when you
Oh,
first saw him. It was just like, oh man, he's a loser
that's
sleeping
a
in the
stupid.
hole and stuff like that. And it was like unlikable to a point to start. And then he just became, like a heart of gold, great guy. It
Yeah.
was good
That,
character arc for him.
again, was the great evolution of these characters over
Yeah.
7 years. It's really incredible. It really is.
Yeah. Besides like Dexhart, of course, like which character did you like enjoy watching the most?
On the show,
Yeah.
on Parks. Oh God, I love Nick. Nick Offerman. Just
Yeah.
he is so funny. That character is so good. I remember the rap party of season two. They always show like a video montage at the party of
Yeah.
bloopers and that sort of
Right.
thing. And they showed a re-elect Councilman Dexhart commercial,
Yeah.
and Nick did the voiceover for it. And it was, and he's sexy Dexy and all this, it was really, really funny. And when we went back to shooting again, I said to Nick, I said, hey Nick, thank you for doing the voiceover for the Dexhart re-election campaign video. And he just looked at me and went, It was delicious.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And like most recently, and I think he got nominated for an Emmy for his like what's called guest starring role on The Last of Us, which he was amazing in that.
Amazing.
So he definitely has like, the chops to do more than just comedy. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, he's so versatile. And again, he comes from a stage background. He's
Yeah.
a stage actor, I mean, once you have that, I think it's much easier to go from stage to television and film than it is to go from television film to stage
Right.
because it's so different in terms of how big you have to be in on stage. It's just, it's a whole different thing. Both great,
Yeah.
but I think it's just easier to make that transition. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about like trying to do Broadway?
Oh, of course. I'd love
Yeah.
to. I did off Broadway. I did a show off Broadway.
Okay.
I did a new musical at the York Theater years ago. So yeah, that's kind of the ultimate goal. I do quite a bit of theater actually. It's how
Right.
I started, and I find that when you're a journey, what they call a journeyman actor,
Yeah.
you're living at it. You have to utilize all of your talents. In other words, I've found that like when TV and film kind of slows down, theater picks up. And then when, theater slows down, I find the TV or commercials or whatever comes back. So you have to utilize all aspects of your career to get to that bottom line at the end of the year and make a living. And I've been incredibly blessed for 25 years to be doing that. So it's a rarity. Just like Jim O'Hare was saying,
Yeah.
he's the same way. It's a
Yeah.
rarity to be as blessed as I've been in this business, as hard as it is, and it is not easy.
Right. How often do you have to audition, or they just like know your stuff and it's not being typecasted, but like I know what we're gonna get with Kevin.
I would say 99.5% of the time it's audition.
Yeah.
But there are those wonderful times when, and it's happened to me a few times where it's just a call, and it's usually a director I've worked with before, or they know my work or whatever, and it's just a flat out offer. That's happened a few times. Um, yeah, so and a couple of those came out of Parks and Rec too, from
Okay.
directors that had worked on that, and then
Right.
they had uh, um, oh, come on. Randall
Rand
Einhorn.
Lionheart. Yeah.
Yeah, is so Randall directed Christmas Scandal.
Yeah.
We got along like a house on fire. And then he created his own show, which was, I'm trying to think. Well, Wilfred. He did
Oh,
Wilfred.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. On FX. Yeah.
The thing about the talking dog and
Yeah.
the Australian show.
Yeah.
So, Randall just called my agent and said, you know, bring him in for
Yeah.
this. So that was an offer, and a lot of theaters work as an
Okay.
offer. I've worked with them before, so but that's a rarity.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. It probably happens more for the Jim O'Hares in the world,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I still have to set up that equipment and get
Yeah.
that thing going. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They say in baseball, if you hit like 300, you'll go to the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
What percentage do you think of auditions that you actually won?
It's not. It's it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, and you just have to have so many auditions um, that it was commercially, I think I heard once it was like you have to audition 30 or 35 times. It's like 30 to 1, something like
Yeah.
that. And that's commercially. Nowadays, frankly, just to be honest, there's less stuff being produced now. There's less TV shows, more streaming. Parks and Rec, shows do not do 24 episodes anymore. They
No.
just don't. I mean, the NCISs and stuff like that, they will.
Yeah.
But it's now, if you get eight, you're lucky. If you get 8 episodes or 10
Yeah.
or whatever, it's all different now. The network is not as much. It's more of the Netflixes and the
Yeah.
Prime Video and all that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
once again, you got to adjust, you got to shift, your bottom line at the end of the year may not be as good as it was 10 years ago. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And also, I feel now you get more of the bigger stars doing the streaming because it is, like you said, 8 episodes or 10. You know,
Yep.
Robert De Niro is doing stuff. Now I see Kurt Russell and Michelle, all
Yep.
these bigger stars are doing these shows now because, Harrison Ford,
Yep.
are doing all these shows because it's like an 8 episode, season.
Yeah. And then what happens with that is the trickle down, which I call it. Whereas if you've got Harrison Ford taking a lead role, well, the guy that would have been up for that lead role is now taking
The
the
supporting
second
role.
lead
Yep,
role. And then that guy is taking less and less. And
exactly.
it trickles down to
Yeah,
where I'm at, and then I'm getting less and less
right. Yeah,
opportunities. So, and yet I continue. I
yeah,
continue to flog myself in this business here.
yeah. Have you done any voiceover work?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah,
Quite a bit. I again, celebrities came into that and took a lot of the work away too. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's great. You
yeah.
want name recognition, that name
Right.
recognition. But yeah, I've done a lot of commercial voiceover. I've
Okay.
done a lot of video games,
Mm.
and dubbing. I've done dubbing for like Netflix foreign
Right.
series that come over. We
Yeah.
have dubbing for it. So yep, 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 yep. That's also another element you got to utilize. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like your voice is like the last thing to go. So,
My looks have gone long ago.
oh, stop it. You're great. Yeah. Yeah. And plus, you can go in, wearing sandals, a t-shirt,
Right.
shorts,
I say all the time, like if I could just do voiceover for the rest of my career, I would totally that be in sweatpants.
yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It's such a like a lucrative and like, a small fraternity too.
Yeah, it is.
Of people. Yeah. Like I had like Rob Paulson on a few years ago and he does amazing work, all
Yeah.
animated shows and stuff like that. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I've done a few Comic Cons and
Okay.
I get brought in because I did Parks or Henry Danger or whatever.
Right.
But these guys that do anime and stuff,
Yeah.
it's incredible. And video games, it's amazing. They have such a following.
Oh,
It's
totally.
extraordinary. It really is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Henry Danger. My oldest son turned 21 last year, and we would watch that. We watch iCarly and stuff like
Yeah.
both shows are great. And it's funny how both of your characters on those shows were selling shoes.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is kind of funny. The silent shoes, Bill Evil on
That's right.
Henry Danger,
The
and
Deka
the
shoes.
Dega shoes that had Wi-Fi or they blew up or
Yep.
stuff like
Yep.
that. Brilliant,
You know
brilliant
what's
stuff.
amazing about those shows, like the Henry Dangers and the especially iCarly, I think,
Yeah.
that those kids will watch them over and
Oh,
over and over and
totally. Yeah.
over. And so this is unbelievable. I was in Italy at the Uffizi Museum. I was waiting to go see the David,
Right.
and there's three teenage girls in front of my wife and I in line. And I'm standing there, and one of the girls does this. Is this you? And my photo from
From iCarly.
iCarly.
Right.
They knew me from iCarly of all things
Yeah.
in Italy. It was like that's because they'll watch it over and over, and
Yeah.
they memorize you and what you look like, and they never forget. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah, totally. And that show always runs. It's on
Yeah,
loop all the time. And
all the time,
yeah,
still. Yeah,
yeah. And like anytime I talk to my son, he's in college, I'll ask, "Oh yeah, I'm watching iCarly. I'm watching Henry Danger still." And
yeah,
he's in college still watching it. There are
yeah.
times like my wife will leave it on. It's just funny, it's just like it's a show obviously for teens, but it has humor for adults too, which is great.
Always. Yeah,
And it's,
exactly.
clever writing and
Yep.
whatnot.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've
And
done my share. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of the tween shows.
yeah.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would imagine like your approach to like those shows or like, Best Friends Whenever is the same, but I imagine you kind of have to act a little bit different with a
Heighten
kid
it.
set as opposed to like Parks and Rec or like NCIS or something like
Yeah,
that.
especially because those shows are predominantly three camera sitcoms.
Yeah.
So you've got and they're for Nick and they're for Disney, and so you got to be big,
Yeah.
bigger.
Right. Exactly.
It has to be based in reality.
Yeah.
But like on Parks, when you're doing single cam and they're right here, whereas if it's three camera, they're getting four people in a shot, and so everything has to be heightened.
Right.
I had an audition for a Disney show once, and I went before they said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "Yeah, how big do you want this?" And they were like, "It's Disney. You can't be too big."
Right.
So I was like, "Okay, I know where
Yeah.
I'm at now."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. But you have to, again, that's something that you have to know because you could shoot yourself in the foot there too if you're not, you have to know how far you can take it, but you also, if you don't go far enough, they're going to want you to,
Yeah.
it's easier to take you
Take it
down
down. Right.
than it is to make you go higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
yeah, and those like both Henry Danger and iCarly were Dan Schneider shows, right? Yeah. Was he on the set? Because I know there were like issues,
yeah,
controversies and stuff like that with him.
he was on when I did iCarly. He was
Okay.
there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Being a guest star, I just kind of I go
Stay
in,
away.
get my mark, say my line, get
Right.
out of the way.
Yeah.
So I don't really know a lot of what was going on. I mean, I'd heard things, but
Yeah.
and then by the time I got to Henry Danger, he was long,
Gone.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Danger is one of those rare shows that just really got a lot of seasons out of it. Normally with Nickelodeon and
Yeah,
Disney shows, they give you 2 or 3 seasons and then you're out.
yeah, which is weird because I always feel like if they're successful, just keep going. I mean, I understand like sometimes kids age out, but I mean, shows like iCarly, you can keep
Yeah,
going. They even
yeah,
made a reboot a couple years ago.
they did.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
And
yep, with yeah,
yeah,
Amanda.
and like, same with Henry Danger. It was like that show was very funny, and then like I understand like those the Drake and Josh,
Yep.
which I think that lasted a couple seasons as well. But Disney's and Nickelodeon, they're famous for their cartoons too, that they'll do a couple seasons and then they'll just try the next thing because they have to sell toys or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
clever. Yeah, I know about
No,
that. So
I've always had really good experiences working on those shows. Yeah, I've
yeah,
enjoyed.
right.
I was the dad on a show called Best Friends Whenever, which
Yeah.
was on Disney Channel. So I had 2 seasons on that, which was a lot of fun too. And it's funny, I'll never forget the first day because I did a screen test for them, and I got hired. And the first day on set, the showrunners and the people, the 2 guys who created the show,
Yeah.
they were like, "We got Dexhart on our show," which is great
Yeah.
because the lead on the show, the girl that played my daughter, they
Yeah.
said she's kind of the Leslie Knope of the show, always positive,
Right.
always
Yeah.
always looking at the bright side of things.
Yeah.
So we're like we got it. It was a great scoop to be able to get Dexhart.
Yeah. And the only, I guess, similarity is you had children. That was
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. And
A
you
lot
probably
of
remembered,
children. He's
at
had a
least you
lot of
remembered
children.
your kids' names on like, best friends or whatever, except like, various Dexhart kids at the birthday
Yeah,
party.
exactly.
That cracked me up.
He's got so many children with so many different ways. Just throws one birthday party a year for all the kids.
Exactly. And they just pan over to all the mothers who just these looks.
That
Or
was so funny. They were glaring at
oh my God. Yeah.
me.
And your wife at the press conferences cracked me up each time. Just the look of disdain she had for you was just amazing. Yeah, it was great. And you had to be at two different maternity wards as well. Just
Yeah, exactly.
just great, great, great stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know like the show, like also like The Office, they have amazing like merchandise between t-shirts and everything like that. I haven't seen any Dex Hard stuff.
No, I haven't either. I don't have the Funko or
Yeah,
yeah.
Funko or the figures or this even like you figure like a campaign t-shirt. Some
Exactly. I have no
something
plans to resign.
exactly. They start 26, I have no plans to
Yeah,
resign.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be funny, actually. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Dexhart for president.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Pawnee stuff out there, just like
Yeah.
the Office stuff out there, but no, not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
hopefully. Yeah, you gotta put in a request for that because people will buy it. The
Definitely.
hardcore fans. Yeah, totally. And
There's a book out called Pawnee, I'm sure you know,
yeah,
that was written by Leslie Knope.
yeah.
There's a big full page blurb out on in me in that, so I would take those to conventions and sell
Oh,
those.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those conventions are interesting sometimes. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
to a few. Yeah, It's- but
Very interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there are people that just that's what they do. I mean,
yeah,
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that's kind of their job now is just to do
yeah.
these.
They just go from convention to convention. Yeah.
God bless. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I've had a bunch of like horror actors on here too, and they say, it's great, every like anniversary of a movie, cast
Yep.
goes and they'll just,
I would have
make a
killed to
bunch
have
of
gotten
money.
this. Any Star Trek episode, I would have
Yeah.
killed to have one of
Yeah,
those.
exactly. Because all it takes is one, and then you can go hit those conventions all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. There was
Mhm.
certainly enough of Star Trek shows out there.
That's true. It's huge. Sci-fi,
Yeah,
it's huge. I know you've had some sci-fi people on.
yeah, yeah. It is. It'll never end, which is good and bad because
All
there's
right.
a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff out there.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And I know you've done a lot of cameos, which is really funny, and you have on your YouTube
Yeah, I've
channel.
done the cameo has been very good to me. And the funny thing about it is that, we can talk all the time about, oh, he's controversial and, he's sexist and all this other stuff. But every time I get a cameo request, 99% of the time it's as Dexhart and being outrageous,
Yeah,
you know,
right. Yeah,
my
yeah,
birthday, and I really wanted to do it,
yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
people love it.
Yeah.
They do.
What's the most outrageous thing someone had you do?
Oh, golly, I don't know. I think there was something about I I had some sort of scandal and it involved circus clowns and a trampoline or something.
Yeah.
It was it
Yeah.
was just it was out there, man.
Right. Yeah.
I don't those for me are great because I improvise the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't plan anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I get the specs of what they
Right.
need and I'll kind of go in my mind about what I want to cover and where. And then it's great for me because I can just it's like
Just go.
I do long ones. They're like 3 minutes or four
Yeah.
minutes. And it's great for my improv chops.
Oh, that's good.
So I can just go and it's
Yeah.
really I love it. It's so much fun and it makes people so happy. It really does.
Yeah. It is great. It's some of them are costly, definitely on there, and I feel like the costly ones you don't get as much. You'll
I
get a
keep my
happy
costs
birthday.
low. I keep my costs low.
Yeah,
Volume,
exactly.
volume, volume.
Yeah, right. You got to raise it for all your, paternity. You got to pay for it,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Like some of the office, like what's Kevin
Oh,
from the,
he's like one of the most popular ones out there.
yeah, he's made a lot of money.
Yeah, good for him. It's
I agree. Totally
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't a demand. So
That's another show that just keeps on going and going and
yeah,
going. People just that and friends and I'm just so blessed that I got to be a part of a show that has legs and longevity and
yeah.
B that it was such I think a positive and uplifting show. I mean, it had
Oh,
sarcasm
absolutely.
and had, but her outlook on life is so positive.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah,
I'm so very proud of that. It was a real blessing. I mean, for me as an actor, because it's a lot of the time it's oh that guy. It's who was did I
yeah,
go to high school with that guy?
yeah.
And Parks and Rec just kind of changed everything. Two things really changed things in my career.
Mm.
One was when I got Darcy's Wild Life, which was my
Right.
first TV series, where
Yeah,
I was a series regular.
yeah.
And that allowed me I was doing mostly co-stars and smaller parts. That put me into a different level of auditions.
Okay.
So I was able to get up and get seen for better roles
Right.
and for more recurrings and series regular stuff. That was my first big
Yeah.
break change. And the second one was Parks because the recognizability, I could even go into a commercial audition and go, oh, look, it's Dexhart, you know,
Yeah.
and, I think that's a good thing. I think it's great that you're recognized for that. And it just shows you the power of that show.
Yeah, absolutely. And they kind of like gave you like the CEO role, the principal role. It's kind of like the man in like charge role.
I'm in more
Mhm.
suits than you should see my closet. It's just
Right.
suit after suit after suit. I played a
Yeah.
lot of suit roles in my
Yeah.
time. A lot
Right.
of cops and FBI and
Yeah.
lawyers and all that sort of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember Darcy because that was on like Saturday mornings, like for a couple years
it's an
on
NBC
NBC
show.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NBC had partnered with Discovery Kids.
Yeah. So they had all those shows run.
Yeah, tweens. Yeah, tween shows. Yeah,
Yeah. I think my son watched it a little bit too. So of
it was
course.
fun.
Yeah.
I got to play a wacky veterinarian.
Yeah.
And I dealt with every kind of animal you could possibly deal with. The first day of shooting, I walked onto set and they wrapped 60-pound python around
Oh
me.
boy.
His name is Julius Squeezer. And he was getting into under my
Everyone.
arms and in under my legs, and it
Yeah.
was a trip, man. And you hold a 60-pound thing for shooting for 3 hours, and it hurts your back after a
Oh, God.
while.
I can imagine. Yeah. I would have freaked out. That's one thing I am afraid of. Totally.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got
Yeah.
the paycheck, you got to take it, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good show. Really, really good
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Did like doing all those like kids, I know it was like fathers and like with
Yeah,
best friend, whatever. It's the
yeah. When
fathers I always feel are a little like wacky on those shows,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
Definitely. Once I grew into the dad category,
Yeah.
that really helped things for me. I mean, that it was kind of, that was late 30s, early 40s where you're the dad
Yeah.
because, and yeah, you got to be kind of the wacky dad,
Yeah.
the guy that he thinks he's in charge, but he's really
Right.
not.
He's clueless. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. And that's a whole different style too. I mean, to play him like Norm on Best Friends Whenever. I mean, he
Yeah.
wasn't the brightest,
Right. Yeah.
bulb, but you have to know you have to walk that fine line of he can't be like a moron. He's got to be still in charge. But
Yeah. Exactly.
it's funny when
Good
they
natured.
you have the kids that are the bosses. That's always look at Home Alone. It's
Yeah.
classic storytelling.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah. But that was really helpful for my career is when the dad thing came along.
yeah.
Even on commercials and stuff, I played a lot of dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. So did the cocktails with Kevin that just come about because of the COVID?
Yep,
Was it that?
yep,
Yeah.
yep. Cocktails with Kevin. Again, born out of boredom,
Yeah.
and people were imbibing a little bit during the
Yep.
pandemic. So in fact, my wife's been like, "Oh, we got to do more of those." So I may have another series of those coming out
Oh,
before too.
good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, there was never a good time to have a pandemic, but
No,
now with having the technology,
yeah,
it really, helped big time.
yeah, it did. I still have trouble believing that we went through that sometimes. I mean, of all
Yeah.
the things that I thought was going to happen, it was not that.
No, definitely not. It's, so sometimes I'll just see like a mask in my house. I'm like, we had to
Oh
wear
yeah,
that. And, it was a hard time finding these masks,
yeah,
for a little bit. And
yeah.
I was working in New York City. And at
Mm.
that point, we had no idea like what was going on. You got to wear gloves because you can't touch anything. So like on the subway, it was like everyone was wearing like gloves and masks. It's like all you see is people's eyes. It was just like it was a scary time there. It really was.
Yeah, it was very frightening and a huge loss of people, which
Yeah,
is, but we came out the other side, and I think learned a lot from it, and
yeah,
yeah, yeah, we're
yeah,
all very fortunate. We're
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So,
I just wish I would have had some Zoom stock right before the pandemic, but
something you'd never heard of before, and
exactly. Yeah, now
now
it's
we can't live without it now.
no.
It's incredible. I
Yeah,
said the same thing. Boy, if I had invested in Zoom,
exactly.
nothing
Just
to worry about today.
yeah, I would have, known, but yeah. Do you ever think, I mean, because shows get remade and rebooted all the time. You think Parks would ever get rebooted?
They asked Mike Shure about that, and he said, "I again, it was such a great ending."
Yeah,
He said, "If I have something else to say, um, maybe."
right.
I think he said it was highly unlikely. I think is kind of where he was headed. They did do that one during the pandemic. They
Yeah,
did
which was great.
which was great.
Yeah,
But I think he would have to really, want to because it wrapped up so beautifully and
yeah,
it's tough to come back. But then again, you never know. I mean, shows are coming back,
yeah.
you know, after being off for. I mean,
Decades.
they're doing the comeback, which is
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
show, and
It's like 10
it's
years,
been
right? Or
off
something.
here for
Yeah,
10 years, something like that. And I'm coming back for one last season. So never say never. I always say you
yeah,
never know.
right. And they rebooted Frasier again. And,
Yep.
I heard a rumor.
Roseanne or with the Connors and
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there's, interest, people will watch it. But I mean, like you said, the show ended perfectly. maybe like do a spin-off of somebody, but I mean, I don't know. But like other than that,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know who.
Certainly would it would certainly find an audience. There's no question about it. I
Yeah,
mean, would watch it. And Mike Schure's just done, I mean, oh my gosh, he's just all the stuff he's done since.
yeah.
Incredible. Man on the Inside right now with
Ted
it's
Danson. Yeah,
yeah, it's such a great show.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's
and
brilliant.
he's a
Yeah,
super, super, super nice man. He really is.
well, that's good. Yeah, no, it's always good when nice people do
Yep.
good things, and
And
they
talented,
do
super
so.
talented. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But what
Yeah.
are you up to now?
Now, well, I'm gonna make lunch. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
yeah.
What auditioning?
Okay,
It's really picked up lately. It's been quite good. I did, let's see, I did a series of commercials last year. I did a tour of Little Mermaid
okay,
last year across the country because I haven't done a tour before, and I
right.
thought, what the heck?
Yeah,
Let's see what this is like. So, and again, theater is great. I'm auditioning for a lot of theater, and a lot of TV is really starting to pick up again. I think things are starting to get cooking again, which is really, really great.
oh, that's
Really,
awesome.
yeah, it's
That's
really good.
awesome.
Never know. That's the thing, and I tell friends, we all commiserate and support each other and that sort
Yeah,
of thing. And as I've always said, you can be completely out of work one day and you have three jobs the next day. And that's
right,
just the way this business works,
right.
So yeah, you never know. One thing will pick up, another thing will drop off, but you just keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, that's good.
And,
Yeah, you
you
build like
have to, you have to, you have to love the word no to be in this business.
right.
It has to roll off you like
Yeah,
walking the duck's back. And I always say if I ever taught acting, on the first day with the students, I would say, welcome to, beginning acting with, and I'm sure you're thinking about getting into this business. Don't do it.
yeah,
Okay, now that I've gotten that out of my system, let's get
exactly. Yeah,
to
right. Yeah. Did anyone ever say don't do it to you?
Nope.
Good.
Well, my parents, yes,
Okay.
I will say my parents did.
Right.
They thought I was crazy, and they were both in the business world, and so they were like, well, you're going to need something to fall back on. So maybe become a business minor. I was a music major to start
Okay.
when I started in college, and then music theory just killed me. And
Right.
I was already doing a lot of theater at that point, and so I changed majors into a theater major. And my parents were like, my folks were literally like, you cannot make a living as an actor. You
Right.
can't. It just won't happen. Well, been doing it for 25
Yeah.
years.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
just like, yeah, because everyone thinks like actors are they're all billionaires and rich, but I mean
oh,
that's like what the top 1% maybe. Yeah,
that's
everyone else is a working actor, you know.
that's exactly right. I mean, when you consider less than 20% actors, I think it's even less than that, less than 8%, I believe, of actors make enough to get their health coverage.
Right.
So it is a tough business. And
Yeah.
that's why when you have success, like another thing that happens just because one thing leads to another. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
So Randall Einhorn, who directed my second episode of Parks,
Right.
Randall got a series of Chevy commercials,
Right. Right.
which I have on my website too. I have
Yep.
a lot.
Yep.
And that ended up being a over 2 year gig for me. And I had something like because it was six actors. It was kind of they wanted to take
Yeah.
off The Office,
Right.
and it was in a Chevy dealership. And so you've got these little written 30-second spots that are really, really funny, just like The Office
Yeah.
with the roving camera. So
Yeah.
they hired Randall because that's kind of his strength.
Right.
He directed The Office, and they brought him in to do all these. And we did over 120 commercials over a 2 year period. And it was so great because Randall directed all of them. And so we would be improvising stuff like
Yeah.
crazy. And when you get something like that, which doesn't happen very often anymore, like the Flows or the
Yeah, exactly.
Jan from Toyota, when
Right.
you get these things, man, you sock that money away. You don't
Yeah.
go out and buy the Lamborghini or
Yeah.
the 15 bedroom mansion.
Right.
put that away because there's going to be times when it's not as lucrative, and
Yeah.
you have to balance that all out. That's what being a journeyman actor really comes down to.
Yeah. That's
So,
well said. Yeah, well said.
yeah.
Yeah. So where can people find, those commercials and everything else you do?
Yeah, my website is kevinsymons.com. And I got my YouTube channel, the Kevin Symons channel. I'm on there. Of course, I'm on all the socials. I'm not on X that much
Yeah.
anymore. I'm on Insta and Facebook, and occasionally the TikTok, the kids. But
Yeah.
you're not going to see me dancing anytime soon. I
Right. Yeah.
guarantee you that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm on all those. I love people who and Cameo. I'm on Cameo too. I love it when people reach out and talk. And I'm thrilled when I get the chance to talk to folks on podcast.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
very happy.
I got to do a Parks and Recollection that Jim was hosting. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
uh,
I listened to that one. That was great. Yeah. I'm glad Jim is doing that because
yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
good.
great.
He is. He's
Yeah,
really. So,
absolutely. But Kevin, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad you have no plans to resign.
I have no plans to resign.
And a special thanks to Kevin for joining me today. And if you have a guest suggestion, you can hit me up on X, formerly Twitter, at @thefirsnoel19. Be sure to like the page Reliving My Youth on Facebook and go to iTunes, check out all the past episodes we've had. While you're there, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. Don't have iTunes? Not a problem. It shows on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, basically wherever you can find a podcast. A new episode will come out soon. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you then.